Fate of the universe on the line. I want Iguodala.
Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Curry, way downtown. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Is this the dagger?
Dell said he was unaware. KD got all up in Trae air. Rudy getting attacked off court. Reporters making up Damian Lillard words. All that and more together at the NBA core. It's the #NBA podcast, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. We are back after an extended pre-Christmas break to titillate and scintillate. In the association this week, Steph Curry kept fans and haters on their toes all week as he inched towards Ray Allen's all-time three-pointer record. Myles Turner compared himself to a role player, and Anthony Edwards dissed Rudy Gobert before losing to the Jazz by 38 points. Speaking of shocking, I've got with me, as always, someone with a 220-watt smile. Someone who alternates between Russ love and hate, and someone who insulates his salads against vegetables. My co-host, Vineet Bhaiya. Vineet, welcome back.
Welcome.
Vineet, what is up? Where are you this fine week?
Today I'm in Metz, France.
Metz.
M-E-T-Z.
Oh, Metz. Oh, nice. Okay, Vineet, man, like it's been a while. Like we've both been busy on our end, and we missed one deadline, which just extended like a 1 week break into what has turned out to be a 3-week break. But my first topic, of course, is the Steph Curry record thing. Can you put it in perspective? Because I mean, he's gonna do it either the next game against Indiana or the game after that against the Celtics, I think. Yeah. So can you put it in perspective what he is meant? Because we have seen him from his 2009 draft. He had this notoriety of being one of those amazing shooters right out of college, but fell to 7th in the draft. Like we've seen him become a complete game changer, which is not a term that, there are not many people who can say that we were game changers. So if you could just give us a little bit of, context about what this record means.
Well, I mean, I think the record means a lot of things. I think it's also like a pretty phenomenal record because he's broken the record in half the time that, Real, like half the number of games Real has played. So that is pretty phenomenal. It's like someone breaks Kareem's records in like half the games he played. Like that's how, I mean, that's how immense this is. Obviously, his impact on modern day basketball is, unheard of. I think maybe one could say, Kareem had some impact at that time where like they kind of banned dunking in school or college, I think.
College,
and maybe Shaq during the Shaq's prime years, Shaq became a thing. Teams started having 3-4 centers on their teams. Just bodies to like throw towards Shaq just to stop him. And I can't really think of any other like these kind of total game changers where the league has just changed top to down, right? One would argue that maybe Michael Jordan also had some impact where before that there was no real like premier shooting guard. Like a team could not win without their big man.
Yes.
And Michael Jordan came and just said, okay, you know what? I'm the shooting guard and I'm going to show you how to win, right? So I think that was also same, but I don't really think there was much of a game changer because you had very premier like shooting guards before, like Jerry West and Oscar and all these guys. But what Steph Curry did, like everyone's now shooting 3-pointers, right? So it's not just
in the
NBA,
not just in the NBA.
It's everybody, everyone, everywhere, and I think his impact because he's 6'2", 6'3", he looks like an everyday normal guy. So everyone thinks they can all be Steph Curry, but that's just impossible. Positive, I think in my opinion, the biggest Steph Curry thing is the Steph Curry Twitter moments, where when Steph gets hot, it's just the whole internet simultaneously explodes. And that's something that I don't think like social media coming together with Steph just like exploding. I think that for me was the most phenomenal part of Steph's career, which is there are these moments where that okay, you're not watching the game and then you suddenly see like these tweets show up and you're like, oh, and then you go and you turn on the TV to watch Steph like just dazzle people, you know. So I think that's probably for me the most, other than the impact of making a 3-point relevant and I think boring. I would say boring in one way. I feel like the 3-point shooting has taken away some of the class and the
ball movement and the like strategy.
Movement. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I think KD has brought back some mid-range shooting to the.
I think this is ridiculous. Like we have Curry, who's made the 3-pointer an unbelievable weapon, and we have KD, who's made the mid-ranger unbelievable. But they are just just the best at it. So. Yeah. Like again, like I'm not sure if anybody is gonna just start taking mid-range because KD has brought it back, but that's just KD. Like he's just so good at it. It's just so unbelievable. They're so good at it. And for me, I think I've spoken about this in previous pods also, that the mid-range basketball is for me what like defines a basketball player. Like I've seen players in college. And
Kobe.
No. I've seen those players who just chuck threes up, but they either have a good form or they throw the ball high enough, and it goes in. And I'm not gonna be like, yes, oh my God, you must be a great basketball player because you can hit 3-pointers. Like and dunking, like I think if you're athletic enough, tall enough, and all that, then dunking is also not that. It's not that. It's fantastic to watch, but that's probably it's a different sort of thing. And like those crazy ass dunks is very rare thing, right? But if you hit a mid-ranger, you pull up, you make that Carmelo Anthony, that Kawhi Leonard, that Kobe Bryant, that crazy ass
in your face.
It just that
fading
looks like
back.
That looks like a basketball play to me. I'm like, oh my God, that is a good play to watch. Regarding Steph and all, obviously, like he came into his powerful, like that avatar of I can do whatever I want in that Oklahoma game where he hit that 37-footer, which I don't think anybody has ever seen somebody just casually just go up there and pull up. Defenses backing up, and now defenses know that they can't even give him a little bit of space. For me, what is most impressive is that I think not completely, but a lot of Jordan's movements were made by the fact that there were rule changes made to accommodate a fast-flowing game, and everyone just like you can't double people. They used to call those, what is that called? Like if two people jump onto a person, what is that called? Zone sort of defense. They used to call
zone defense.
Zone defense is always illegal in that time. So
zone defense was illegal during Michael Jordan's time. Yeah.
Yes. So what is the word? So Michael Jordan played one-on-one basketball. I mean, obviously he's great. I'm not talking about that, but he got some advantage because of that thing. And I feel Steph Curry has done whatever he's done in the absence of any sort of player movement those kind of things. I feel he's taken advantage of. He's done something which I don't think anybody ever thought would happen. Like these circus shots, like whatever he hits, he has practiced it a lot, but to most of us, it's a very circus shot. Like it's, as Paul George would say, it's a bad shot. Not for Steph, but it's one of those kind of shots, right? All of this OKC PTSD only is coming to him. So I feel what he's showed us that he can, if you practice something, then you get so good at it that you just change the entire way people think about sport. And that is, not something that you can say about a lot of them.
Yeah, that's very, very, very few players you can talk about that way.
Yeah. So the only sort of counter in my own head, because, I play devil's advocate myself. The only counter for that to me is that what if there was no 3-pointer line on the NBA? Then would Steph be as great as he is today? Like what if it was just whatever, you make a basket, just 2 points. And then if you get fouled, you get the 3-pointer shot. So that is one thing that comes into my mind, the 3-pointer was made. So I keep thinking that maybe because so many people are now, like the threes are getting so much, like you're hitting so many threes, shooting so many threes, you're making so many threes. Maybe one day the line is going to get back a little bit more to account for, this change in data. Maybe the corner three is going to get eliminated soon. I mean, I'm just thinking of things
Spitballing.
that way. Yeah. Do you think that if the three-pointer was not there, Steph is as revolutionary, as great of a
tough.
player? Not revolutionary, but as great of a player then?
It's tough. It's tough to say. It's just like that's such a big hypothetical that, I mean, if the three-pointer line was not there, obviously, he wouldn't be as effective because
he wouldn't have this record.
Well, he would not have this record. Also, he's not, he's not necessarily like he's a great shooter, but he's, like you said, doesn't have like that mid-range.
He doesn't take it much, but he's got great handles as well. And like whenever he shoots, he usually is smart enough to take the shot outside. But whenever he goes inside, also he's got great handles. He's got that touch off the glass thing also going on for him because he's a great shooter. And great shooter, you put them 5 feet away, you put them 10 feet away, you put them 15 feet away. They'll always have that mechanics.
Yes and no. I think that to be a great shooter in the mid-range, you need to have some amount of height advantage. Like you can't be 6'3" and be that great in the mid-range because you are then going into the the thick of the forest.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult. Obviously, Chris Paul is god of mid-range, and he's but he's still not as he doesn't score the kind of points that Steph has scored. So I would say you would see Chris Paul and Steph kind of have. I mean, Steph be more of a Chris Paul, I would say, if he didn't have that advantage. But it's tough to say because Steph, I think, is very, like I said, I've said this many times, very, very competitive. And when you're competitive, it drives you to learn and be really good at what you want to be good at. So in that sense, I think that he would figure out a way to adjust. Would he be as great as he is today? Probably not. Because the 3 is worth more than the 2, and if you're extremely efficient like the way Steph is, then it's golden.
Absolutely. He just changed the mathematical formulas itself. Like I said, not many people can boast about that thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the one thing that I was thinking about this the other day, and maybe I should bring you into the fold because I remember you telling me that like Steph is better than KD, right? Or has a better career than KD or whatever it is.
Yes.
And I actually disagree with that. Now that I've thought about it a lot, I think I disagree with it.
Okay.
I disagree with a couple of things because I feel like Steph can be stopped if you put him in a playoff series and and we saw the Cavaliers do it, right? I think KD is at this, and I have a nice meme for this that I was thinking about. Have you don't know anime, but there is this anime called Goku, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, I know. Oh, I didn't know it was anime.
There's this thing called Frieza, and so he says, "This is not even my final form." And when I saw that, I just thought, okay, this is like KD, right? Like you thought KD was so great, like he was this amazing player, great scorer, and then this year he's just taken it like a notch higher. Every year KD is just better, more efficient. Like he dropped 30.
I really don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't know what has KD has been this silky smooth taking these jumpers from the Oklahoma City days only. I don't
look at his efficiency numbers. Look at his efficiency numbers, right? His efficiency.
Okay, I mean he's gotten obviously he's gotten smarter. Yes, he takes better shots now.
Yes, but that's that's key, right? I mean when you're at that elite level of a scorer, to be able to hit that kind of efficiency numbers is pretty ridiculous. Because
Kawhi does the same things.
Yeah, Kawhi is different, man. Like Kawhi is more a little bit bully ball. It's not as Kawhi. I mean, like I said, if Kawhi is
KD bullies with his height. Like KD can just shoot over anybody, and nobody can stop that thing.
A healthy Kawhi for me is the best player in NBA because two-way this you can't reach him. So I'm not comparing Kawhi and KD. I'm just talking about KD and Steph, right? Steph, I think, can be stopped in a playoff series. Like if you actually want to stop Steph because he's kind of smaller, he can be roughed up a little bit. He can be stopped, and we have seen him be stopped. Whereas KD, I mean, I don't remember any playoff series where you could convincingly say, okay, KD was top. Maybe I would say like
PJ Tucker.
No, I would say like the only series that I can think of really is the Miami Heat series, the finals where they just got.
But he had no
steamrolled.
clue what
He was too
didn't know.
young. He just didn't
Yeah.
know, finals. This, it's kind of like what happened to LeBron when he went against the Spurs, right? It's like just there's nothing that you can do. Like you just Tim Duncan, So, Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Just had to bring his name. But yeah, I think so. The more I thought about it, I just felt like you may be right that Steph has a better career, and I think Steph has enabled KD to win those two championships. But then the question is, would have Steph won those two other championships if they didn't have KD?
I think it would have been close, and that's it. We don't know whether they would have won or not, and I'm sure that it would be very wrong to say definitely that they would have won or definitely that they would not have won, but they would have been in the mix, which is probably isn't that the best that you can hope for? I mean, certainty just ruins the fun of sports for me. So my whole point is that if you're doing a one-on-one thing, there's no doubt about it. KD is going to smoke the hell out of Steph. There's nothing. That's not a competition at all, right? The advantages that Steph has over KD are just like relentless, that energy, and he's got that like that shooting touch, beautiful shooting touches there.
Which KD also
got
has.
people. Yes, but KD does not like demand that kind of attention as Steph does. Like Steph is constant. Like, okay, it might be a function of the offense that they run, but
If KD took as many threes as Steph, would you want to bet that KD would not have hit as many
yes,
converted as
absolutely.
he would have? He just
No, he wouldn't.
take
No,
it.
he wouldn't have. No, I'm saying he would not have. I don't think so. I think Steph is a much more volume shooter because he's got that rhythm. KD's see, if you leave them open, obviously I think they're both as good as it gets.
But KD
I
is 7
think
feet tall. Which 7-footer is guarding you on the three-point line?
No, I mean,
my point.
I'm just saying that from whatever volume that they've hit, I don't think that Steph, I don't think it's even close. I think Steph is a much better three-point shooter than KD. I'm just saying that, see, if you're talking about careers, right? Like, Steph had Klay Thompson, who at no point of time was a top 10 player in the league. And he had a bunch of people who knew their roles and they wanted to, they were knew that Steph is the main guy. We have to make sure that the team works around him.
But Klay is a better complement to Steph than Russ was a complement to KD.
I think Klay has gotten hot and he's great, but I think Steph is the reason why Klay works, and I'm
not denying that. I'm just saying that Klay is a better complement to Steph. Like Klay plus Steph is greater than Russ plus KD.
No, I don't think, especially athletic, young Russ and all that was
No,
absolutely
I'm
ridiculous.
talking about just basketball. Basketball fit.
I'm talking about basketball fit. See, they beat the Spurs 2 times out of 3 times in the playoffs without home court advantage. Without home court advantage, they beat the Spurs 2 times. And this is a team which nobody thinks of that team as a team basketball. The Warriors play team basketball as in everyone is just team, selfless, all of that thing. The Spurs play the best basketball every year and they get beaten by Oklahoma City. The year where they had a 67-15 record where the Warriors had the 73 record.
The last Duncan.
The last KD Russ
also the
game.
last Duncan.
The last Duncan series, yes. The Spurs, with Kawhi killing it in the regular season, I think they swept the Thunder, maybe not, I don't remember. But that team ended up beating the Spurs without James Harden even. Their third best player in the year was Kevin Martin. Russ and KD was an amazing combination. Young, absolutely headstrong. They didn't know what defeat is. They didn't know how to nothing of that sort. I think KD has had a much better time with Russ than Steph has
Who
had.
who defeated them then after that?
Warriors. But I think it's a fit issue. I think if Spurs had played the Warriors, then Spurs would have beaten the Warriors. I think they were. No. That is not at all a thing of the. That is not at all the point at all.
Okay.
See, playoff matches are it's a what is that word? It's a matchup issue. I think the Spurs would have easily beaten the Warriors if they had played the Warriors. But alas, they did not play the Warriors.
It's a horrible point, dude. Because
how is it a horrible point? I'm telling you, KD has had much better teammates. And KD is so much better as a single offensive player than Steph that like he should be killing it. But
it does
not work. It did not work.
Right. I mean, I don't disagree with you on that. That like, KD should have had much more success than what he did have, you know. But I also think that it had to do with mostly like he and Russ just didn't fit. You know.
For me, I really don't think there's much has changed with respect to his like the shots that he takes. It's just that he's gotten better at shooting and he takes efficient shots in that, but he still takes crazy shots sometimes, and it just happens to go in because he's Kevin Durant and like nobody can stop him. I really don't think that anything has changed much. Like it's not.
I love how you're praising Kevin Durant. Like no one can stop him. You know, and he's just such a great scorer. He's amazing. What can he not do? He can hit free throws. Yeah,
he can hit 2-pointers.
That's the point. But that's the point I'm trying to make, right? The point I'm trying to make is that the more I think about it, I think Steph can be stopped. Like I've seen Steph being stopped in playoffs. But that's the whole point. Like why couldn't you stop Michael Jordan? It's because when Michael Jordan leaves the ground, he's so high that you can't touch him. Like have you seen Michael when he's
oh my god, that is crazy explanation.
He's like 5 feet above it, just like staring at him glide. Yeah. You know, so
whether the rim's smaller back then, because I have never seen anybody jump.
Right? And so casually, like as though he's just taking a step.
And just goes up like
when he takes a jump shot, when he's just taking a jump shot, like there are so many freeze frames where you see just like he's like 5 feet above taking a jump shot. It's like what kind of jump shot is that? He's
dunked on Patrick Ewing by jumping off of 1 feet, of 2 feet, and Patrick Ewing is just like let me try, and he's already. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think I don't disagree with you in that Steph can be stopped and KD can't be stopped. I'm just saying that to win a basketball team, I would rather have. Oh fuck! I can't say that. I really don't. I probably have KD.
So that's my point. So that that's where. So the only kind of difference for me between the both of them, because I don't think Kevin Durant is a selfish player, right? I don't think that Kevin Durant is kind of like.
But he's got more hero complex.
He's got more hero complex, but I think if he was the cornerstone of a Warriors like franchise, I think it would have if he had someone if he had complementary pieces from day one.
That is a very hypothetical case to make. It's a interesting question.
KD had great teammates, but I think James Harden was a good complement, but they left him. They got rid of him.
I really don't understand why you're saying Russ was not a good complement. Like that team won so many games.
Right, but that's because they both individually are just phenomenal talents. Right, it's like they are so good to get just the two forces are so good.
Can't believe Oklahoma City had two of those people.
Okay, just tell me any other team that had two of these just amazing players at their when they were so young playing together. I can't even think of
Penny.
It. Penny is nowhere near Russ. Come on.
I think Penny those 2 years was scoring just as much and all-star those
maybe
years.
Yeah, and Shaq and Penny also went to the finals. You can make that argument, yeah. But I just don't think that it's tough. It's tough to make that argument because Penny got injured. But I mean, who else can you think of? Young guns.
I don't know. Vince Carter and T-Mac. That didn't really work well.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they also came through together.
They came there together and they won championships. But it's very similar, right? Like, but they complemented each other. So that was the only thing, right? Like everyone always felt like, okay, these two talented individuals, Russ and KD, are so good that if they can just I mean, you are an OKC fan. That wasn't the thing, that the thought process in your mind is like, if they can just figure out that.
Figure it out. It's like life has come back full circle. Now I'm a Lakers fan, and they're also, if they can just figure it out somehow.
So and you never look at the Warriors and say, oh, are the Warriors going to figure it out? They always have an answer, and I think that has to do with Clay, and that's why I always think Clay is such a underrated player, is because he's a compliment for Steph, but he's also learned to become a compliment of Steph, right? Like he does the dirty work, he does the defense, like he's the one who's like guarding the best shooting guard or the best point guard on the opposing team, which frees up Steph. They both are very good off ball, So it's a lot of stuff. Both KD and Russ are horrible on off ball. So if Russ was a better off ball person, then it would have improved KD, and it would have made defenses do more when they were playing against OKC. So like the stuff like that, right? Like those things are compliments that work out. Like especially with the playoffs where the margin of error is so small.
Anyway,
so
that is that. We will let the audience also comment on who they think legacy-wise or whatever-wise. I actually have forgotten what the initial point was. Is that like, would Steph have been better on OKC or KD on Warriors? No, that's not the point.
No, I think we had this discussion about who is a better player, Steph or KD, and I think I agreed that Steph was a better player, but I think I'm changing it to KD.
But we didn't talk about being the better player. We talked about who had the better career. That is what we said. And now
really?
you are saying that,
okay.
Yeah, we are saying that the reason, like we said that Steph had the better career, but now you're thinking that it's because of certain things. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that KD was the reason why Steph won the other two.
Okay.
I think it would have been difficult for the Warriors to have won those two.
I mean, exactly. I mean,
now, would KD have won 2 championships? I don't know.
All right, we are going to leave this thing. We're going to go. KD defending Trae Young. Do you think that's the way now defenses are going to do? Like, I don't know if you saw that clip, but I'll play the clip. Look at that. Like, I would hate it if some guy just came and grabbed me by the waist. Like, that is ridiculous, man. And look at him breathing down his neck. This is absolutely like.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. It just looks weird.
it just really looks sus. That's what the young people say.
It looks a little sus.
It looks very sus.
True. It's true. Or maybe he's trying to recruit Trae Young into Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. I think he should be, because that
Kyrie is gone. Kyrie's over. I think Kyrie's whole career is gone.
Like how
Good.
pissed?
I'm
okay,
happy.
how pissed? Yes, that's true. But how pissed would you be if you went and recruited someone, told them that you are like a great player, and they were like the year before that they were all like on the sides being like, oh my god, whoa, we want to play together, whoa, I am doing this for you, blah 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 blah, and that guy just bolts up and leaves. Like, what would your reaction be? Me, like what do you think would have gone through his head? Because we had a role play session where I was KD and. Like my thing was that at least let him play the home games, but even that has not worked out, because Brooklyn is like Brooklyn said the net said that no, we don't want someone who is half in half out, which I thought was a very strong move, and
it has not really impacted them. Like they were still with James Harden and Kevin Durant, they're still a very good team. Obviously, with Kyrie, they become unbeatable. I would say unbeatable if they had James Harden in the James Harden form, right? So right now, because James Harden is not prime James Harden, they seem a little beatable. But James Harden.
I mean, they've not been playing their best. I mean, they are the number 1 team in the East, but I think it's possible to argue that they have not played as effortlessly as they could have. I am predicting.
I am predicting 1 month. generally I think this happens like usually during like the February, March,
After Christmas. Oh, okay. All-Star
February,
break.
March times where James Harden goes for his crazy 2 months of 40 pointers.
That is not happening here.
I would not be surprised. Because
Is that what you're predicting? You're predicting one Houston James Harden outburst in Feb. After the All-Star
at least
break,
1 month where he goes crazy, because I feel like both James Harden and Kevin Durant are good friends. They both understand each other, and I think right now they are just trying to figure out, how James Harden can become more of a facilitator. I mean, he's the second highest. I think he's averaging second in terms of assists, second or third. And once he gets into that groove, I think that Kevin is going to say, you know what, go take a shot, because the number of shots he's taking has fallen by like 8. I think he was taking like 24 shots a game. Now he's like at 14 or 15 shots. So it's not like he's not effective. It's just he's taking less shots. And if you're Kevin Durant, I think Kevin Durant is also the kind of guy who would be like, yeah, man, just go get your shots up. Do your thing. Like, I can totally see Kevin doing that. So I feel like once James Harden is comfortable with knowing where his personnel is, getting everybody involved, which he's very good at, very smart, very intelligent, he's probably in a better shape. And if he just he's averaging 21 points a game. I think 10 rebounds. 10 assists, 9 point something assists. And he's taking only 15 shots a game. So if he starts averaging like 21, 22 like he used to back in the day.
He's shooting less, fewer 3-pointers as well. Like he's just taken everything down. Like he's like, let me just work it up and then get to that point.
Yeah,
I mean that's true, but I still don't think that 40-point outburst is coming. I think that's
not 40. I just feel like he's just going to have one of those like James Harden like that 40-point barrage that he had. I think when was that? 2018,
which is a 40-point streak. Oh.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, that was another level. I don't think
people started being like 40 points is not that big a deal. Like everybody.
Yeah, he used to drop 40, 42. Yeah, he used to drop 42, and everyone was like, 40, and not just 42, like 42, 15, 42, like 14, ridiculous numbers, and it was like, what?
Well, like very possible. Everyone can do it in today's era.
Everyone can do it. Yeah, so that won't happen, but I definitely think that a lot more 30-point games. He's going to pull back his PPG, back to like 24, 25, I think.
We've been talking about a lot of offense. We'll bring some defense into this thing. Rudy Gobert got attacked recently, with words. People started comparing, people started saying things like, we are not scared of Rudy Gobert. Kristaps Porzingis strikes more fear in my heart than Rudy Gobert. And then Rudy Gobert to be like, I do my thing. Defense is not a one-on-one defense. 5 people have to play defense together, and I try to help my team as much as possible. Utah has been playing again fantastic this season. Again, the regular season, one more season of proper basketball. They're not losing to bad teams. They're playing well. And Vineet, as a defensive stopper yourself.
Myself, yes. True.
But I've only seen your defense in one-on-one, in 3-on-3 and all that. I have not seen you like be as impactful there. But give me a little bit of thing, right? Like, I agree with Rudy Gobert in that it can't become offense is still more like, one person can change this thing, but defense has to be like one person has to be like responsible, but all of them have to do it together. Like rebounding has to be a team thing, defense has to be a team thing. People have to talk all the and Utah obviously great defensive team in the regular season again this season. So like, what do you feel about those statements made by Ant?
Ant is a kid. I mean, he does it. I mean, it's youthful exuberance. You remember 22-year-old Ashwin?
Oh.
He just thought he could do anything.
He could do anything. Nothing could stop.
Nothing could stop 22 Ashwin. No, nothing can start 33-year-old. It's like.
So who is Rudy Gobert, the 33-year-old Ashwin? He's just like, you can do what you want.
I mean, nothing right. I think it is his personal opinion, right? Like maybe he feels like he can go and dunk or like take on Rudy Gobert, and he feels like Kristaps is a better stopper. But I also think that there is always this certain disrespect for Rudy Gobert in the league, within our follower community, a certain Superman named human being, Indian Superman.
All right, good one.
Seems to hate Rudy Gobert, which I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the hate for Rudy. Like,
I think he hates, or rather the hate is for how vaunted his defensive abilities are. Because last year, like, they were like, oh, best defender, blah, 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 and all that. And then he got exposed in that series against, the Clippers. He got exposed, like he got picked on. That Rudy Gobert got picked on, and they made it so that he had to be taken off the, off the court, because they just kept exploiting Rudy Gobert.
So my point for that is that defense is a team sport, right? Especially if you are a big man, right? A big man is not a one-on-one kind of defender unless they are defending another big guy, right? Which in today's game, when in the Clippers, there was no big guy that Rudy had to stop. So generally you become useless. Like, I would say Tim Duncan would be pretty useless too against the Clippers.
That's what Pop thought when he took him out for those rebounds.
Yeah, that's the reason why he took him out, is because he just felt like, oh my God, he's getting exposed, right? Because they're playing small ball. And it turned out to be his biggest mistake, because who knows, who really knows? But I'm just sad that, there's a blemish. Anyways, let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Yeah, so that's one thing, which is defense is a team sport. But then if you're a defensive stopper like Kawhi, and Kawhi plays defense very different, because Kawhi is kind of like good height and good bulk. Like, he can't stop a 7-footer, but if anywhere up till 6'10", just because of his, like, he's a strong guy, he's got long arms.
And he's got that instinct also.
He's got the instinct. He's like Rodman, right? Like, Rodman is big, long arms. So that's where, like, you become a strictly one-on-one defensive stopper. That's different than when you're playing team defense. And generally the way team defense works is a lot of switching and funneling to the big guy. That's how that works. You funnel the players, you switch and you funnel. You switch, you funnel, you switch, you funnel, you switch, you funnel. And if you funnel to, if you have to funnel, and you need a very, very good defensive stopper when funneled to is able to, like, change your, the way you shoot your ball. And that's where Rudy go. Yeah, because, like, if you funnel the person towards Rudy Gobert, he's tall enough and lanky enough, and he is nimble enough where he can make you alter your shot.
Drive them off the 3-point line, send them into the middle, and then be like, okay, now we have Rudy Gobert, we have a better chance than anywhere else.
We have anywhere else. And that's team defense, right? And that's what he understands, and that's what most people understand what team defense is. Obviously, when you're playing against a team that is playing small ball, and the biggest pulled out of his comfort zone, he's going to be exposed. And it's just not Rudy Gobert, it's any big. It's just Embiid. Any big is going to get exposed. Embiid, even Giannis Antetokounmpo, like, he will get exposed. So I don't see the point of picking on Rudy Gobert. I think the one thing you can pick about Rudy Gobert is that he's a horrible offensive player. He doesn't even get the most basic put-back dunks that he should get. So that's the place where you can actually criticize Rudy Gobert and say that he's not a threat on offense. He's not as scary as he should be offensively, just because he's so big and he's got players that can feed him the ball. He
doesn't have many moves.
He's a little bit better than Andre Drummond offensively, just a little bit better. So that's the place where you can criticize Rudy, but criticizing for a defense, it's just stupid.
Anyway, we had another, I think, tall, lanky person, Myles Turner, finding his way out of Indiana. He called himself, they're just treating me like a glorified role player. I think I need to find a better place. Do you think there's a better place for him?
Yes, the Warriors, Lakers. I think the Lakers should get Myles Turner. Oh my God.
How the hell? Oh, that'll be good. They really need one sort of thin person.
That'll fix all. That'll fix most of their defensive.
I think that'll definitely fix most of the defensive problems. Like they just need someone who is
highest
not
impact.
selfish.
The highest impact Myles Turner can have is on the Warriors.
Okay. I mean, I'm not denying that Myles Turner can be good like any reasonably contending place that he goes to. I think.
But it's funny how like Indiana Pacers like. I thought they would do much better because they really have the pieces. And they have finally gotten like a good coach. And suddenly they have
this is the year that the East became more powerful also.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if there's something else that's brewing. Maybe Rick Carlisle is just like, Rick Carlisle is old school, right? So he's rubbing elbows and, those elbows are very pointy. These old school boys. So,
but with whom? Like all of the Malcolm Brogdon, he's got TJ McConnell, Sabonis. Sabonis. They're all
are good players. All are good players, and that's my point.
Non-egoistic players.
Like that's what I'm wondering is like why have they not been able to like have better outcomes? Because if you look at the roster top to down, they have very good players, role players who know what to do, what they're very good at. But it's not performing. So I would just imagine that it has to do with the coach, and the coach kind of just not, Rick Carlisle is coming with a big ego. He's like, I'm Rick Carlisle, blah, blah, blah. And then these guys will be like, screw you, man. That's my only thing because that's how it is these days, right? Like there is no, like it's very difficult to demand respect from people. Like those days are gone where like you'll say, oh Guruji, mujhe, teach me. Those days are gone. The old school guys will say like, yeah, I mean we could, like Isaiah Thomas will always say like, yeah, I could score 30 any day, but our coach would say
Chuck Daly said don't do that.
Yeah, Chuck Daly said don't do that, so I won't do it. So coaches were much highly regarded then than they are regarded. Today it's a very player centric sport. It's not a system centric sport.
But Myles Turner, I mean, for him to say that he's a like glorified role player, do you think it's a product of the times that he's living in because he's not so offensively skilled? Because he used to lead the league in blocks. Like he's been like top 3 for the past 4-5 years. He is ridiculously slim and tall. Plus, he came to India to play that game also. So we have a soft corner for him. Like he also started, I think, shooting threes. Like it's not like he has a bad form or anything. But why? I don't understand why he would compare himself to a role player. Or maybe that's what the message has been coming through to him. That you are on the trading block. We don't really need you going forward. So that might hurt feelings.
That's also. I think there's something more, something that's more deeper with the Indiana Pacers that's wrong at this point.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, do you know who is number?
Tim Duncan.
Number 5 or 6 in the East?
Washington Wizards.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, the underdogs, the dark horse.
The dark horses. The ones I picked.
Yes, you did. Vineet, damn it.
They're better than the Boston Celtics, can you believe it?
I can believe it. Fuck the Boston Celtics. They have ruined what little joy I had of being like, I was right about a team, and they have just completely destroyed that thing. But what I have to say is, like, Boston Celtics coach is one good-looking guy. He just looks like a unit, man.
For a long
Ime
time.
Udoka.
Ime Udoka, yeah.
Udoka. Oh my God. Strong unit of a man. That's the only good thing about the Celtics right now. Everything else is absolutely ridiculous. I heard rumors of a Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons sort of trade. Not sure about it. I don't know why on earth would Ben Simmons leave Philadelphia to go to the next most crazy sports town in the US? Go straight to Boston. Like, I don't know why that would happen. But
I don't know, man. I think Ben Simmons is done.
Ben Simmons is done. Oh, man, don't say that.
Well, I feel like, if I was...
we already saw like our favorite Zion Williamson, like absolutely just getting fatter and fatter.
Well, but then there was this another photo that showed up, and he was like super thin and slim, and
not super thin and slim. Let's not say words which like don't mean anything.
No, I mean he didn't look fat at all.
But they said that
the Pelicans have taken him off this season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's not a good sign. Definitely not a good sign. Hopefully,
it's just it sucks. I mean, the reason why is I feel that about Ben Simmons is because, as a professional, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but like I wouldn't feel good about like, just sitting and pouting. It's like, all right, like if I don't get the best that I want, I'll go and like prove that I deserve the best, right? I just feel like once you get to that stage where you're pouting, you're sitting on the sidelines, it's a slow decay to nothingness. Especially in a competitive sport like the NBA, where like someone is after you, like.
Oh my God! So many people are after your job. Yeah.
Yeah, like Matisse Thybulle is this new 3&D guy. Then there's what's the other guy who came up from Philadelphia now, who's playing Ben Simmons is.
Toby Maxey.
No.
Huh?
No, man.
Maxey.
No.
Shake Milton.
No, dude. God.
The point guard, no.
Is roster.
Maxey, what was Maxey is he? I forgot what Maxey is he.
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey, yeah. But I said Tobias Maxey.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's great.
Close enough. He's great. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's great. And like there are like hundreds of them. Like that. My point is that like who is like why will like your like look at James Harden, right? James Harden was compared to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. That's where he was compared to, like, offensively he was that good less than a year and a half back. Right? And then he slouched, he got fat, and now he's just taking such a long time to even come back to like a normal, like, okay,
32-year-old
you are a decent
NBA
shooting
body.
guard. Yeah, like everyone thinks he's shit now. Even though he's averaging 21-11 and has the best record in the NBA. In the Eastern Conference.
The East, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So think of someone like Ben Simmons, who doesn't have much to show off. It's mostly like people thinking that he's really talent. It's basically on talent and some defensive ability, which I think he does actually have. Like he has the willingness to defend.
Absolutely.
But if you're out of this for like a year or year plus, like it's so difficult for you to come back and demand that kind of minutes, that kind of level of, like respect. Only maybe someone like Kawhi can come back after a year and a half and be like, or KD, and just be like, okay, let me.
No, I mean they went for basketball reasons. Like I think just the unprofessional, like I said, the unprofessionalism of which you're just like, no,
like,
I don't
one respects
care.
you, right? Like you're playing a team sport. Like who's going to respect Ben Simmons?
Yeah,
no one.
Yeah.
And that's my point. That's why I feel like I think Ben Simmons is kind of done, in my opinion. Like,
which is very sad.
Would you want to play? Would you want to play with Ben Simmons?
Yeah, I want to play with Ben Simmons for my basketball team in college.
No. But if you're an NBA player and like you guys were trying to win a championship, you would say no.
Yeah, I mean, like just the Kyrie incident should have given him something. Kyrie Irving, one of the three best players in that team. Probably the second best because James Harden was a little bit injured. The Nets management told him, you take your money and get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. We don't want you to play in our home games also. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That should have given him some indication that, like, it doesn't matter. Like, unless you're Michael Jordan or like, unless you're great, then all of this is just in your head. Like, just because somebody is giving you $180 million, like, Rudy Gobert is making $207 million. Look at what all they're saying about it. Yeah, I think that's a very good point.
So that in that sense, I feel it's kind of done for him. I don't think anybody wants to play with him. That's my point.
And it's not like he's bad. It's just I think the taste in the mouth is pretty.
Yeah, it's too bitter.
Gone. Maybe he can play in the NBL. Maybe that's where he wants to play.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Couple of questions, sir. My God.
Couple of questions. Ashwin, my first question to you, my friend, is what is happening in OKC?
What is happening in OKC?
I put out this post on Instagram about OKC doing absolutely trashy moves, and you as an OKC fanboy.
I mean, I have a soft spot in my heart for them.
What do you think what do you think Scam Presti is doing? Let's talk about what do you even like. What is he concocting in his mind?
I think, see, for me, it has always been strange that anybody ever decided to play in OKC because, it's a small market. It's like a Bible Belt. It's not glamorous by any standards. And Oklahoma, and basketball isn't even the sport there. It's football, right? Like it's always Oklahoma means football, like college football. College football is bigger than probably the NBA there.
Easy, yeah.
So for me, it's always like you keep trying to bring up small markets up through the draft and things like that. But what if superstars don't want to go there? What if no superstar in their right mind is ever going to be like, I want to go and play in Oklahoma? The reason Durant and
unless he's an Oklahoma native.
Yes. Even then, I mean, it feels like really good. Blake Griffin.
He's not Oklahoma native.
I mean,
he played for Oklahoma State.
I thought he was Oklahoma native.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought he just played.
We will figure it and we will fact check it. Oklahoma has nothing fantastic to offer unless you are drafted there. And they can offer you the most money, which is definitely a very attractive quality. Right. Durant, Russell Westbrook, all of them stayed there purely because they had fun playing and they were winning at that time because two great players playing together. But I cannot fathom in my head why anyone who is not drafted there would go there and be like, yes, I want to play in Oklahoma City. What a great place to be in. I'm a huge fan of long winters and short summers. So for me, it just then comes out to what exactly is ownership thinking. Now they've got so many picks. Either they are just hoping for one of these picks to become the next Durant or something close by so that they can have one like great player in the team for 4 years before their again contracts. Like for 6-7 years, that player will be there. But I have absolutely no clue that what is the point of holding the picks?
Right. So my whole thing is Scam Presti is just playing the long con, like you would say.
Okay.
Right.
What is the long con?
You know how like sometimes you can convince people that they are smart by giving them a smart solution.
Like a scam.
It's not a scam, but it's like if you tell them, okay, I can do this, we'll do this, then this, then this, then this, then this. Like even though the probability is very low, like someone will be like, oh, you know what? Yeah.
If
and
like this happens and then this happens and this happens and this happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's as an the MBA student, like like if you use certain words in
we call it
when
scam
you're delivering something.
I mean,
again. No, I mean I don't call it necessarily a scam. I just feel like Scam Presti has to keep his job. All right.
I don't think anybody is gunning for OKC GM job.
No, but it's not about OKC GM, but he can get fired. Is my point.
He could get fired, but
right. He could get
I think
fired,
I mean,
right?
yeah.
So there is this whole like stats side of this thing where everyone thinks Scam Presti is this genius. There's this like narrative around Scam Presti, right? Even though I wouldn't say he got. I mean, he did some good moves. Getting James Harden at that point, getting Russell Westbrook at number 10, I think, or number 4
or 5. 4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5.
Harden was 3, Durant was 2.
Yeah. So I mean, he picked good people. Like it wasn't like.
But Durant was a Supersonics guy. I don't think he was an OKC guy.
He was not.
He was not Presti guy.
So overall, he's done some stuff. Now, because the people who think he's a genius are also like kind of. They think that they're smart. Like if you give them a smart plan, and if they can understand the smart plan, then they feel like, okay, we are into this.
We are part of this great genius.
We are part of this, great plan that Scam Presti has. But I don't think Scam Presti has any plan.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Like, I mean, these things are so fluid. Like we have seen teams just emerge out of nothing and win a championship. Like Raptors, the Lakers.
What?
Yeah, no, Lakers.
Lakers had LeBron.
Yeah, but the team
Raptors
emerged
took a
from nowhere.
pure chance on Lakers had
Yeah,
LeBron
but
and Anthony Davis. What is this team?
No.
Obviously, last year they did not have Anthony Davis. This year they had LeBron and Anthony
What
Davis.
I'm saying is that this team was not constructed in 2019. Like
Which
it just
team?
got constructed in 2020 and they won a championship. Like my
yeah.
point is that these teams, like it's not like you build a team like the Lakers built back in the day. You had Kobe, you got Kobe, then you got Phil Jackson, then you built that team to get the championship. It's like Harden will Kevin Durant will join the Warriors will win 2 in a row. Like that's the flavor of the season where I don't think there is going to be this whole building up like tomorrow if.
But I want to say this thing. Okay, see, you remember we had talked about why do small markets even exist if nobody cares, right? So your point was something about to them it doesn't matter. Like winning is not the main aim for them. Having a basketball team there, having people come there to win.
Yes.
Right. So that is more important than at any time. And just because OKC had a great 2009 to 2016 run,
16.
even 17 also, Carmelo and Paul George came. Also, I mean, they were winning team.
Yeah,
they were still a winning team, right? So I'm just saying that if that is the case, it's not fair to expect that now we can't be thinking that OKC is a great team forever. It's not like the OKC is a Boston Celtics or a Los Angeles Lakers or a Warriors which have a this winning. Obviously, yes. Sorry, my bad. Also, Spurs. Right? It's not that. They have been a small team. But they got very lucky getting Durant and Westbrook and Harden and other players to come in there. The OKC crowd sold out every single night, every single year from 2010 to 2017. Every single year. Like I think this is one of the only years where they have not been able to sell all the tickets. But like the Atlanta Hawks or like the Charlotte Bobcats or like the Orlando Magic, I think maybe it's just not fair to compare that just because OKC had great years that they have to always be like that. Maybe the team, maybe the owner is some energy guy, oil guy. Maybe he does not want that kind of thing. Maybe he's like, I'm very okay having a team so that I have something to talk to at parties, and you just make sure that we don't pay much luxury tax. So winning and all might be. I mean, I don't know, because how are you going to convert these 150 picks? How are you going to convert these 150 picks into anything? What is going to happen?
Yeah, so that's my point. It's like, what is going to happen? We haven't seen anything yet. He has. I mean, it's not like he's been holding these picks from last year. He's been holding these picks from 2017.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
No, from 2017 onwards.
No, it's from the Paul George trade. Yeah, from the Paul George trade. Right. Yeah.
Wasn't it 2017, right?
18.
18. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like either he's pulling a fast one on everybody.
I love that theory that he's just made it seem like it's such a smart plan that you have to be stupid to not get it. And people are like, no, I'm not stupid. Right. I get it. I know what the plan is. It's a great plan.
Yeah.
Great. Everybody's like, oh my God, what a great plan.
No, that's how these Ponzi schemes happen, right? Like a smart guy will come up with a Ponzi scheme, and then no one wants to look stupid, so they'll be like, yeah, absolutely.
I see what you're doing.
I see it. I see what you're trying to do. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Man, it's okay. At least on the Ball is Bay podcast, we have unearthed your plan, Mr. Presti. And if you want to prove us wrong, please come on the pod and talk to us, and we will see. What is.
Or hire us.
Or maybe he could just be like, let me just hold these picks. Something good somewhere will happen, because right now nothing good is happening.
So that's my point. So that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like he doesn't know what he's going to do, but he's playing the long con, which is like, at some point, eventually, with all these picks, you are going to get something, right? And it's not really a strategy. It's more like, you're playing blind bluff until he can continue to con people into understanding this great plan of his. Like, for example, the process, right? The process that they did with Philadelphia, that made sense. The way they constructed it, the way they, it's not like they got Joel Embiid in the first pick. As a first pick, they invested in him.
But there's a lot of luck. I mean, how is it any different then? Because they also kept losing, kept getting that first pick. I mean, it kept being in the sea. But it's not even like if you have the worst record that you automatically get the first pick. If you have the worst record, you have a 25% chance. The 4 worst teams have the most highest chance to get that first pick. So Philadelphia is just lucky in that they got 1 year, they got Ben Simmons, 1 year they got Joel Embiid after tanking for all those years. In my head, what other thing it could be is that he's just hoping that one of these years, someone somewhere says that, because they have so much cap left, they can offer a superstar more money than anyone else. And he's like, what is Oklahoma City? It's a 1 hour flight away from LA. I can always take the money, go take a personal flight. I can buy like 10 personal flight. I can buy the entire state of Oklahoma only with this much money. So, what else is there? But I don't think it's a scam. If that's the way, I don't think it's a scam, because it's just that he's hoping that one day these Bitcoins are worth something. So do you think the people who had Bitcoins back then, like they were speculating, like in a way they were speculating that this thing, I believe in the value of a Bitcoin. I believe in it, so I'm going to keep it. I don't know whether it will be a traded quantity, in a traded commodity in the future or anything like that. But I believe in the qualities of a Bitcoin, so I'm going to hold it. So that could just be the other case, that he's just hoping that things change in the future and something somewhere happens. So it's better to have the picks and not need them than need picks and not have them.
Yeah, I see that. I just think that.
But the scam part is the scam thing is the more fun theory. That is just.
Yeah, because the thing I hate about it is because SGA is such a good player.
Yeah.
Right, and he's stuck in I would just say release SGA.
He's not stuck. He's got why release SGA? He's getting nice $172 million. He signed a nice big contract.
But he's not he's forced to tank. I wouldn't want to be in his place. I would say just keep the 172.
True.
I'll go
but then you're not going to get 172 anywhere else.
He's a young. I don't know. I just feel like he should be released. Release the Kraken, if this may say. That's what I feel. If I was in SGS position, I would say, listen, man, if you want to tank for the next 3-4 years,
then
I'm not
let
your
me
guy.
out. Yeah.
Let me out. I'm not your guy, right? Okay, my last question for the day.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my God. So, with regards to who is the best team in the league right now, who do you think has the highest probability of winning the championship, according to you, if you're looking at it today?
I think Bucks. I think Bucks are just
what about Suns?
Strong. No, I think the Suns very good team, and but I don't think that they can beat the Bucks. I think Bucks are better in those crucial aspects, and I think.
But without what's his name, Brook Lopez and.
But not right now. Eventually they'll all come back, right? I think whatever they've been playing without, if they play well without Brook Lopez or okay without Brook Lopez, then I know that when Brook Lopez comes back, he's their 3-point shooting machine and he's the defender in the center, stopping those things. I think Bucks for me are, I think. I think Nets have a better record. Warriors have a better record. And Suns have a better record, but I think Bucks match up better against all of them. I feel that. Especially, I don't think they have any major injuries as such. We know that Kyrie is out, but Holiday is not out. They come and go a little bit. Middleton is also going through the little bit of thing, but Bobby Portis, all those players are coming back, and they're getting DiVincenzo also back. I think Bucks are, as of today, I think whatever I have seen them play, I think they are as good as any team. And probably the only, for me, dark horse, which is not really dark horse because they've been playing so amazingly well recently, the Bulls. Bulls, I think, are probably the only team which can do something. Because they play good on the defensive end as well, which is important against the Bucks.
But
you can't allow the Bucks to
coached by your famous coach, your favorite coach. You think
okay, no, it's not Scotty Brooks, okay, it's the other guy.
You didn't like him also. You hated Billy Donovan more than you hated Scotty Brooks.
Absolutely not. Billy Donovan at least tried he tried to run plays. It didn't work, but they lost from 3-1 and all. But Billy Donovan, I have no problem with Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan is cool. It's just fine. What do you feel, Vineet? Who is your favorite? I know it's not Cleveland Cavaliers, but I'm interested in.
It's not clear. I think it's the Lakers, man.
Lakers, wow.
I think it's the Lakers.
Why do you think it's the Lakers?
Because the Lakers have, Lakers have missed LeBron. Lakers are the newest team. They have zero chemistry, right?
Okay.
And they're still like 2 games away from being number 4 seed. And like my point is that they're being so dysfunctional, they're still so good.
But I mean, they have a 500 record.
They have a above 500 record.
I mean, maybe they just got above 500 after they beat the Thunder. I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is that?
For me,
12, 13, 12.
I think Lakers have as like. I'm just not concerned about the Lakers. Like, I don't know why.
Because you don't have any money on them. Like what? So you're saying that they are better than all the other teams. Do you think they're better than the Suns?
If health is consistent, yeah. If LeBron is healthy, AD is healthy.
I mean,
unless
they are injured, that's what you say.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Health, they're all old people only now. So.
No, yeah, they are healthy. I mean, not injured. Yeah.
So you think they are better than the Suns when healthy?
Yes.
Okay. Suns are a really fast.
Who's going to stop LeBron and AD, man? Nobody. Tell me a team that can stop up LeBron and AD if they are healthy.
I think the Bucks have good enough length to stop them. I think.
I mean,
I think any team. See, again, like what happens is, what you're saying is basically like it will be strength against strength. Now, the Lakers' strength is LeBron, but their weakness is this running. They are like one of the slowest teams in the league, man. Like,
but they were the slowest team even when they won the 2020 championship.
I don't think so. I think they had a lot more young pieces back then. Like they had
no,
Kuzma,
but they were a proper
KCP.
half court team. They were like that. That's all they used to do.
But it's not like they've been playing any half court basketball greatly. Also, like I mean, okay, if you feel that, that's great.
I'm just thinking of it as on a playoff matchup.
Do you think they can beat the Warriors? Do you think they can beat the Nets?
Yeah, I think
they can beat the Warriors. Huh?
Yeah, Nets may be a little. That's my point. Nets are the only. Nets and Bucks, like you said, like are the two things. But for me, it's just.
Okay, but at least in the Western Conference, you're saying that they can beat all of the teams, even the Utah
playoff
Jazz.
series. Yeah.
Clippers with Kawhi.
With Kawhi is different.
Okay, right now the Kawhi is not there. Fine, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because the thing is, the Clippers play like they don't have a big. So they play a little bit different.
But it's not like AD plays like a big also. Like AD will go to the post and not even the perimeter. So I mean, okay, fine. I don't think any Laker fan would agree that they are that good. And I don't know. Like I think you are discounting their disadvantages. It's just that they are unable to run or defend the three, or just play together also, man. Like I mean, okay, fine. The wilder speculations have been made.
Lakers first, Nets too. Still for me.
Okay.
I think Warriors is you just have to stop Steph. Steph here, they're gone. They don't have a Clay to. They don't have a
Jordan
wall. They don't have a wall like before. Like Steph goes means then you have Clay will erupt.
Yeah.
You don't have that exhaust valve. I think Suns also similarly. I think like if you can defend them properly, I think they can be succumbed into losing. Like that's what the Bucks did. So I think it's just who else is there? I mean, Jazz are my favorite team. I love the Jazz, but man, till they don't do it, I don't know it, right?
In the playoffs, they'll always go and be like, okay, I'm done. Enough winning for this season. We'll try again next season.
I don't know. We'll see.
Unless they see OKC on the other side, then they'll be like, we'll beat this team and then we'll go and lose to the next team. They were what? When they 3-1 up on the Clippers last year and then they lost.
Yeah.
And उसके पहले भी one game they lost against Denver.
They lost against Denver. No, this year they lost against last year.
Clippers.
Last year they lost against Clippers. Yeah.
Clippers. Before that against Denver when they were 3-1 up. I mean, it's just. So, I don't think Denver is a great playoff team, but I'm telling you, man, Bucks this year, I think they still have that amazing group dynamic which is there.
Agreed. They are the second best or third best in my opinion.
After the Lakers and the Nets and the Warriors and the Suns.
No. No. Lakers, Nets, Bucks, Suns, Jazz, Warriors.
Oh. I think
Warriors
Jazz.
in a playoff series without.
I think Warriors
again,
better than Jazz for me. I think so.
Maybe. I just feel like it's too much dependent on Steph, and Steph can be stopped. So that's my only thing in a playoff series.
Fair enough. But I think by then they'll have
Clay will be back and all that.
It also remains to be seen what Clay is going to do. It's not like Clay will come back and people will be like, oh, please take your shots. We will not defend.
Yeah, I mean, people think that Clay will come back and he'll just be like. But
I mean,
the way KD came back.
Yeah,
we hope for that. Yeah, that's it, man. Those are my two questions for the.
Thank you so much, Vineet, for bringing your questions to this pod and
You're
taking
welcome,
some of the pressure off me.
I'm happy to ask all the questions. You like asking questions, so I'll let you ask.
No, please. I've got no point on this podcast if I can't even ask questions. Cut. All right, man. We're talking to each other after a long while, after an extended while.
Yeah.
And hopefully this won't be continued in the future. Till then, like, share, subscribe, do all the jazz. And then next episode, Vineet, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.